Hello.
Yo.
Hey.
Remember when we talked to Jenna?
Look at that.
'Cause I don't.
Here. Welcome to episode 3.
Thrice of our little podcast thing.
And our first episode with a guest.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, first guest.
Special guest.
You want to introduce yourself to our fans?
Yeah. I'm Jenna. I'm Emily's sister. Her one and only.
Yeah.
The best sister.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So we wanted to talk about a goal of this episode, talk about your internship, because that sounded really cool.
Yes.
And then just talk about like college and all that good stuff since you're still in college.
Mm-hmm.
What year are you right now?
I'm going to be in my third year
Ooh.
at Washington State University.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to finish the semester early, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm graduating a semester early, so I have a year and a semester left.
Nice.
Slay.
Yes,
Slay.
yes. Just on that grind.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're back. When do you leave?
Wednesday.
Whoa.
And it's Sunday today.
It is
Whoa.
Sunday, August
9th.
11th,
11.
2024. Jenna was here for summer break.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then she left
Kinda.
for 3 weeks for an internship. So what was the program name?
NFA, which I actually don't even know what it stands for.
Oh, we could probably... Okay.
National
NBA.
Forensic Association?
Not for...
No.
We might need to send you...
Mm.
You might need to be in college for an extra semester.
Not for...
Never forget
Ants.
about skeletons.
Never forget anything.
Ever.
Ever.
So that was in a different state, right?
Yeah, I went to Tennessee, but it was in Oak Ridge, which is like 30 minutes from Knoxville.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We saw dead bodies.
I saw a dead body.
Yeah, I was.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah, explain that a little bit.
let's start.
We can
from the
start
front.
from the beginning, yeah.
The beginning, you know. How'd you hear about this program? You know.
Yeah, well, I think it was like when I was getting my classes for like spring or something, like in December, I had to go to my counselor to like talk about them. And she was like, oh, like I was talking to her, I was like, oh, I want like internships. Like I'm like, hopefully this summer I'm going to find an internship. She's like, oh, well, there's this one that you should apply to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, okay. And I looked into it and then I was like, okay, sounds cool. And then I like put my like deposit down and then they were like, you're in. And then I waited for like 6 months,
Oh wow.
probably longer, to actually go because I got it in like December.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so like, were they just picking a few people, or was it like?
Well, okay, so I thought it was just very chill. So I was just like, oh, texting mother, like, we should do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, okay, we'll like send a deposit or whatever, emailed the guy. But apparently it's like really competitive.
Oh, wow.
Like people
Dang.
wait like years to go to this
What?
program. And everybody was talking about it and I was like, y'all, I just put my deposit down. Like, I don't know what you guys were doing. But I think it's more
Just
competitive.
something light for you.
Yeah. It's like, this was a Tuesday. Like, I think it's more competitive for people that live in like, who go to school at like UT Martin or UT Knoxville.
Probably.
But I think they have more spots for like out of state people.
That's crazy. That's crazy because they live there.
Yeah, right?
But I think because they have like an actual program, there's so many more
Yeah.
kids that want to do the
Yeah.
program. So,
And is there like a lot of programs like that, or is that kind of like?
I don't know. This is the only time I've ever heard of one like this, but it's like more recognized. It's like they train like actual law enforcement people. It's like a 10-week program, but they just condense it into 3 weeks for like college students and grad
Yeah, yeah.
students. So that's what I was doing. So like the program has like been around for a long time. Yeah. Pretty fun.
Pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Would do again.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were saying that like you were able to live with other people when you were there, right?
Yeah, we only had like one other roommate, and I was roomed with one of the other girls from WSU. She was a grad student, and then the 2 other girls from WSU were also rooming together. So you just got like one other
Yeah,
roommate.
you gotta.
It was just kind of like random.
Interesting.
So what were the classes? Like what were the classes' names? Like, didn't you take 3 classes? I thought you were like kind of in a classroom, and you would like take classes and stuff, and like had exams.
Yeah, well, it was like, it's like a building, and then they have like one room that's just like the desks, like long desks with chairs and stuff, and that's where they would lecture. So each week it was like a different topic, or like each week had like a couple topics, and they had people come in from different like organizations and like offices to come teach us. Like if it was about like forensic anthropology, they would have actual forensic anthropologists and come talk to us. So it wasn't like we like went around to like different classes. It's like they just came to us and we lectured, and then we would like go do stuff like like practical exercises, and then come back lecture more. Like it was more of like a very chill kind of thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool that you were able to like have something new every week, you were saying.
Yeah, which was nice. And then once it was done, it's like, okay, if you didn't like it, then like just wait 2 days and you're learning about something else. But the days were long, like getting there like from 8 a.m. to like 4:35 p.m. It was like a lot, especially if like it was just lectures. Like some days we didn't do any like hands-on stuff, so it was like literally just hours and hours and hours of just like slides, like 290
like
slides. I was like, oh my gosh. And they tried to break it up like with like 10-minute breaks and like lunch, and like they would like talk about their own cases and show us like photos of stuff. But it still was like a lot. I was like, I cannot like.
Do you have any wacky like professors, people that you met there?
I think every single person there was probably so funny. Like we had such goofy people, because like you kind of have to be funny because you like see dead people every day.
It's like your regular day to day is a little
so
morbid.
I feel like a lot of times they would just like make jokes that like other people would be like, that's really like unsensitive, like it's insensitive. But it's like not really, because like they're just funny people. Like some people were generally like like some guy was just like goofing around. Like we had like a fake body that was like had like bullet holes in it, and he put like a mop head on it, like put tape on it, like literally made it look like a person, just like while we were doing our practicals, because he just could, you know. So it was pretty fun. Everybody was like really nice and funny, which made it like easier to like go through like 7-8 hours a day.
Good lord.
So it was really just like grinding out classes then.
Yeah, because we had to like learn all this information, like 8 hours a day of information, understand it, and then like take an exam like each week. But then it was only the first week that was on Friday, and then the next week it was on Monday because we went to the body farm. And then we had to, the last week it was like we took one on Monday, then we took one on Thursday, and then we had the practical final on Friday. So like the last week it was like, but we would be learning stuff like before the exam.
Yeah. And then so I wanted to ask, how was the body farm? Because like me growing up, I used to watch Bones a lot.
I get that every time. I'm like, I went to body farm. And they're like,
I was obsessed. And they go to the body farm. Pretty sure it's the same one. Like it has to be. And it was like one of the cooler episodes. So it just like, I didn't know it was a real thing. Like I thought, you know, like it was
it's
like
a TV show.
A TV show, you know. But how was that?
Where
was it interesting?
Like how far away was it from like where the classrooms were?
So it was only like, I want to say like 20-30, I think closer to 20 minutes. It wasn't that bad. Because we lived in like Knoxville, and it was like a 20-minute drive to Oak Ridge. So we all like met at the facility, and then, you know, we all piled into a bunch of cars because it was like in the middle, like we were going off-roading into like the mountains, like into the woods. So like if you didn't have like a good car with like 4-wheel drive, you would have gotten stuck.
You're in the mud, brother.
And someone did end up getting stuck, and I'll talk about that when we get up there. So we like met at like this Kroger or something, and then we all like drove up there and stuff. But yeah, it kind of was like in the road, and then you kind of like go up like into like the wilderness, and you like drive in this gravel road, and you just like see the people who own it live on the land.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so how did that even like, what's the history of that? Like,
I don't know the history of it, but it's UT Knoxville, I think, owns it, or UT Mar. One of the like the university owns it, and then they have people like this old guy that just like lives on it, I think, or unless he owns it and like is like a doctor or has like a degree or something that he wanted to do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just through the university, because like the people that
just
like
cheap rent.
Because the people that like actually go are people like the people that go to university, like the anthropology people go, and then the CSI people go, or the forensic people go, and then the police officers, law enforcement who also do the program go for 2 days, and then us. So they always have bodies, like they always like one of the people who like works there, who was my like instructor for like my group. she's just like so nonchalant. She's like, yeah, we have to like cycle. We always have to have like at least 23 bodies at the farm, like buried every year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna ask how many they had, like, at one time.
I think like with how many groups and how many like programs they have, at least 23.
And you have to have them at different times, right? So different stages.
You want them pretty decomposed, because if you're digging, like the point is to learn about like bones and forensic anthropology.
Mm-hmm.
So they want them pretty decomposed. Like a lot of them still have tissue on them, because sometimes they can't tell. Like it's not like, oh, you decompose within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like some people take 2 years, 4 years,
Oh
30 minutes.
And
like it's.
How was your experience with like seeing a body,
Yeah.
the bones?
Yeah.
And,
Okay. So.
Like, would you say, like, how do you deal with that stuff? Like, I know some people like can't stand the sight of blood. I'm pretty sure you're not like
That's
that.
like pop-up.
Yeah.
Pop-up candy.
I feel like there is like an actual like, not like disorder, but like a thing that you can have that like you literally just pass out. Like it's just a thing. So like they kind of would show us, like we saw a bunch of case photos before we went to the body farm to kind of like prepare us, and also like weed out people who like, if you have this, like you can't control it. So if people pass out, it's just what happens.
They're like jump scaring people to see you fainted.
So we saw like some pretty graphic ones before. So I was like, I've always been fine. I feel like I've kind of been interested in it. And like I watched so many horror movies that are so graphic that it kind of was just like
gory.
I kind of just like desensitized myself before, and I feel like you don't really process it. You're kind of like I'm more intrigued. I'm like, oh my god, how did they do that? How did that happen? Before being like, oh, that person got like shot. Like that's gross.
They kind of stink.
Yeah, like it's more of like, oh, that's really interesting. Like I wonder what happened. So you kind of don't even think about, oh, that's a dead person. You're like, lol. Anyways, move on. What happened?
Yeah. So you're kind of like.
Yeah. And then the day before we went to the body farm, we had a lecture about forensic anthropology. We learned about all the bones, and they lectured for like hours. Oh my god, it was a long day. And then the last 2 hours, we like went into the lab, and they had like on the tables had like a full body, like just the bones, and we had to like figure out like, oh, this is the sternum, this is blah blah blah. Like I had like a packet to do, and we had to figure out what we had and what we didn't have, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like looking at this, like holding these bones, like LOL, like we're just really a speck of dust on the earth, like I'm like holding like Lucy, who's like 75 years old. And it's like after a while I was like, you're just like, you're holding something, you're like, okay, like it's fake, like whatever, like it's hard, it's a bone, like, but I'm like, no, like that was an actual person.
It's like when you say a word too many times, and it's like
and like then we're like trying to figure out like, oh, like was it a girl, was it a how old was she, like based on the bones. And then I was like, oh my god, she was 75 years old and she died of like this, and like they told us all the information. I was like, oh, that was an actual person, which is pretty interesting. And then
I feel like that's where like a lot of because you were saying they have kind of like a short career span, the people that do that. Like I feel like once they start thinking about it too much. I think it's also very draining. Like you don't have like a 9 to 5. It's like 18-hour days, 20-hour days. You're like peeing in the woods because there's no bathroom where you have the body. Like, it's a lot on your body, and like getting down and doing a bunch of stuff. I feel like a lot of people are just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, especially if you start later, you're already getting, you're not 20 years old that can like, you're 30,
run around
and some people, like one of the girls we had, one of the instructors, she's like a kid. She's like, I'm old. I can't, like, she's like 30, but she's like, I have a kid. Like, I literally, I'm tired. But so you just kind of get tired, and like, you just kind of want to quit after seeing like 70 million dead bodies. You're like, maybe an office job might be my thing now.
Might be more my speed.
But then you're just sending emails, and you're like, it's like, oh, this isn't real. I
used to be out in the field.
Right? Like,
I need to be back on the field.
What was it like? Was it hot?
Oh my god!
At the farm. So it's in the woods.
It's literally like so humid there. But luckily, honestly, the 3 weeks that I was there, it rained and stormed so much, which I was not like aware that it's stormed so much. But we got there, and we're supposed to wear like long pants and like a t-shirt, but we had to wear like biohazard suits. They're like called TVAC suits. So it's like, it comes with like a booty, like all like pants, and then like it zips up, and you have like a hood, and you wear double gloves, so your hands are sweating.
Was it like the Among Us suits?
Among Us.
Loki, yeah.
That was good.
But you're wearing this stuff, and it's like you just created your own ecosystem within your suit. Like you had your own atmosphere. Like it was just getting.
Were you like, oh shit, it smells like a dead body, and you're like, oh no, that's me.
You're like, guys, what's that smell? Like, oh my god, the dead body. It's like, no, that's you, Jenna. You didn't put any deodorant on.
We're still on campus.
No, like it was so. Like you could tell, like all of us in the photos are just sweat, like drip. And I would like, and there's a lot of bugs, so I would like get up and be like, oh my god, what's dripping? Like what's touching my leg right now? And I'm like, it's your sweat from your bed. Like literally, like I got my pants were sticking to me, and I had like thick khaki pants on, and it was so hot, and it wasn't even like sunny. It was just like kind of gloomy, so it was kind of like eerie. It was like interesting, but it was so hot. I think it was like 80 degrees with like 60% humidity, so it was pretty rough. But
and then so that's the fit, but how was like being there?
Did they let you dig in the ground?
Yeah, so we each kind of broke off into groups, which had like an instructor that either like worked at the body farm or was just one of the other people we had. And so we kind of got there and we had to figure out, okay, where's the body? Because we learned about like, you know, the bones, but also learn about like how could you find a
so
grave.
you got like a brand new body, like
so they reuse
unboxing video.
They reuse like the people, like they kind of just dig them up, be like with the program, and then they just put them back, and then they kind of wait for them to kind of, you know. So when we got there, like, you know, we already had like, okay, well, it's what we're kind of looking for, you know, difference in vegetation and like depression within the like the dirt. So this is funny because Missy was our instructor. She gets there, she goes, oh my god, where's the grave? Literally, it's a like body-sized like
fresh dirt.
Like no, just plants. It's completely like leaves and sticks, and then just like a circular like oval shaped green plants just growing. And we were like, now this is a thinker.
You can see like the outline of the hands.
Yeah, literally. She was like, guys,
it's the chalk outline.
She goes, guys, like what are we gonna do? And we're all like, plants. All of us were like there
Doro
seems to be a
which one of these
is the grave? Is it A,
the grave looking,
or B, the flat land? Yeah, so once we like it's painstakingly found where we could even start to dig, we had to like take all the plants out, and then we would like test the plants, like the botanist or whatever would test the plants. And then like if you were there, you have to like collect bugs, because like the entomology people would like collect bugs.
Why would you test the plants? What?
Because there might be like I think there was just like you could figure out
could absorb stuff, right?
And then also like I don't know. I think things might, yeah.
Yeah, you tell us.
Anyway, Art, so your experience with the body farm? Like on episode 14. Yeah, so they like basically have to like collect everything just to have it. And then so we just start like pulling the plants out, and then you slowly start like getting the shovel, and you kind of like scrape the first layer of dirt, and you kind of make where the indentation is, like, because like kind of compresses because the body's like really big and bloating, and then it like goes down as it like decomposes and stuff. Yeah. And a lot of times like the soil's different, like if you know you're putting it out in the woods and the soil's been untouched for 20 years or whatever, you know, and you start digging, the soil's going to be fresher, it's going to be not as like hard, so you get like this big stick and you kind of like put it in there, like I don't even remember what it's called, to see like, oh, this dirt's really hard, this is really soft, so that's probably where the body would be. So we kind of like, you know, started shaving off some of the dirt, and then oh my god, like when you're actually like doing a gravesite, it takes hours. So we were there like all day, but like, you know, half the time it's like we didn't sift all of the sand, like all of the dirt. You have to sift everything to make sure you get all of the bones if you want to miss anything. We were only doing that for like 20 minutes, and all of us were like sweating. We were like, this is horrible. And
it's a whole crew of y'all.
Yeah, we had like 7 people, and all of us were like still like there for hours trying to dig this thing up. And then you like slowly start to like dig until you like kind of notice like, okay, this might be a part of the bone, or like you like actually hit a bone. Then you have to get on your hands and knees with the dustpan and a thing called a treble, and it's like a little like, you know,
it's like digging up like fossils, like
and you just start to like slowly just start picking, like shaving away like in like very even strokes against like the entire grave, and you just put it in buckets and you sift it and you just keep
my
doing
God.
that.
Oh, for like little bone fragments and stuff.
Yeah, to make sure. And then like when you like but you're not supposed to move the bones. You're supposed to like leave them there so you know like what position they've been in. You know, because sometimes they can be like face down or like have something on them, which will also kind of like tell you maybe how they were died too.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that though, unfortunately. Just because we were learning, and you know, all of us were like, oh my God, and we were like, oh crap. I was moving something, and I like had like the hand bones of phalanges, and I'm like picking it, and like they all just like came, and I was like, oh my God, and they were like, come on, Jenna. I was like, I'm so sorry. And then after that we kind of kept moving stuff because
should have been like, give me a hand.
Guys, my hands are full, okay, with other hands. But our site kind of became like a biohazard in a sense because her entire abdomen was still kind of intact. So her tissue was like kind of full, so they wanted to get it out because we weren't wearing masks, so they didn't want us to be face deep into like her decomposing flesh. So we had to like rip her her ribs off her body. Yeah, to get rid of the tissue. So we got rid of that. So everything was kind of moving around, but we kind of like tried to put it back together to take the photos, you know. But also, apparently this woman was buried in like 2021. Wow. And she'd been buried and unburied like 3 different times. Dang. Because the intern that was there that works at the body farm, he was like, yeah, I dug her up like last year, and like we kind of just shoved her back in there. Like I think she might have like multiple like duplicates of stuff. I was like, hello? I was like,
duplicates of what? Like,
I think they just like, he was like, yeah, we kind of just like put her back in. Like I think we threw like another like sternum in there or something.
Oh shoot.
I was like,
God, you're
we didn't find like a double of anything, but I was like, you're so weird. Like
he was casual about it.
Yeah, he was like, I dug her up last year. I was like, okay, cool.
That is not the flex you think.
Yeah. Well,
and the fact that you like were like, yeah, I just kind of like threw her back in there. I was
yeah,
like, aren't you supposed to be like, but you know, like kind of position them in different positions for like everybody to kind of learn, you know? And that was interesting. But
would you donate your body to science like that?
I mean, they kind of don't treat them very well. Like there was one
lady
story.
Got buried 3
well, you
times.
gotta give back.
I feel like maybe just because like since I'm part of that field, I feel like it would be kind of cool. Like I did it, so like I want to be part of something that like I learned from, you know.
Give back by your bones.
Literally give back.
I want to give back to the community.
But like they honestly like I don't know, like I feel like the people that work there are so nonchalant about everything because they've like literally been there for like 50 years. Like this lady's like old as crap, so she's like touched bodies like for so long. Because we were on a tour like halfway through, like we can go on a tour of the body farm, so we're like, let's take a break and let's tour it. And so she's like, oh, we used to have somebody here, but she was kind of in the way, so we kind of like chopped her up and put her in the wheelbarrow. And I was like, hello? What do you mean chop her up and put her in the wheelbarrow? So she's like, yeah, she's over there. And it rained the night before, so it's just full of water. There's like maggots like floating on top.
What?
And I'm like,
That's
what if I was in the way? Like, what if I like did it myself and I was just like in the way? She's like, yeah, she was like really big. I was like,
why would you put it in a freaking
just to have her decompose so they could just put her back in the grave? I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they kind of just they leave them like out on like wooden pallets. So you kind of just walk by and they're like, lift up the tarp, waft of dead body smell, and just seeing the body.
No.
Yeah.
Do they have clothes on?
No, they usually don't put
They're
clothes on.
naked?
Well,
I
because
think
they don't.
you're just supposed to be desensitized to that.
Yeah,
right?
but also like people.
But also when you
naked.
saw them, you could not tell who they were or what was happening because they were so decomposed. You know, like we saw this one guy that was like pretty fresh, like he was out on Monday, and
he just got out.
Yeah, he was like hitting the rocks, you know. And like we were there Friday, and like he like wasn't decomposing at all. He was just kind of moldy. LOL.
Ew. Like a skin?
Like a bagel?
Yeah, like literally like a piece of like bread that was left out, like. Because it rained and like some people just don't like the maggots just don't get to you, like you just don't. It takes forever to get like.
Dang, not even the maggots want you. I would be so sad.
Well, he had. It was funny though because Missy was like, yeah, like his family didn't want him, and like I think I know why because he had a swastika tattoo, and I was like, oh, Missy be literally
the maggots know what's up. I misspoke.
Like, ooh, no, we have standards actually. We don't just eat anybody around here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you don't. I mean, I wasn't personally looking at their dead body. I was like more of like, oh my God, look at all the maggots on them, you know. Yeah. But the smell was insane.
Do we have like an sound?
The maggots when they saw that guy.
They're like, why'd you even bring him in here?
Get out.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. And then we like went back, like literally we went on a tour and then we're like lunch, and I was like, okay. I had like an Uncrustable, like I wouldn't touch it. I was like eating it in the bag. I was like I was like eating cheeses. I was like lifting the bag into my mouth. I was like, I'm not touching
Did they let
That's
you
crazy.
wash your hands?
Oh yeah, I was like, well, you also have 2 gloves on, so you weren't touching anything. And I made sure like I was like, don't touch my gloves at all. And then I was like, hand sanitizer, and your hands were like wet. We like all of us ripped our like hands, our gloves off, and just sweat because like it's hot.
Yeah,
and we were there like a good 4 hours before we even had a break, so it was pretty interesting. But some people were like, I couldn't eat, and I was like, I was hungry. I'm so sorry. Like I ate my Uncrustable, I had some water, I had some of my Cheez-Its.
One thing about downer women, we're gonna eat.
I had a beef jerky stick, which was bold of me. I had a jerky stick, and that was before I had to like pull the ribs off. And after I was like, why does that kind of look like beef jerky? And I was like, never again.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, I
Beef
kind of
jerky's
wonder.
expensive.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, save money.
Yeah, that's true.
What were you gonna say?
I just like I wonder what else is gonna get ruined by that experience.
But the thing is, like, I like when I was at work, I was like showing people, I'm like, do you want to see a picture of a dead body? Like, just because, like, one, it's cool. 2, like, they would probably never see stuff like this before. So I was like, if you want to, like, I have, like, you know, if you're interested in it. And I was like, today I was like eating my lunch, and like one of my coworkers, Maya, came back and she was like, oh my God, can I see it now? And I was like, yeah. I'm like showing her, and she's like, are you okay seeing this? And I was like, yeah. What do you mean? Like, it's a picture. And she's like, oh, a dead body. And I was like, yeah, but I'm hungry. Like, I can't like smell it now. Like, I could probably picture it. Yeah. But
The
like,
picture you showed, it was like very like bone. Like it wasn't like.
well, I have a picture of like an actual decomposing
No. Oh,
one.
you don't have to show that to me.
That's
They
no
let you
secret.
just take pictures.
I mean, that's
I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the interns that like took photos of us,
Oh,
and they
okay.
took a photo of like a girl like lifting up the tarp, and I was like, screenshot. It's like, I need that forever.
yeah. I feel like yeah, you're like if you're not desensitized, like it's kind of like you're in the wrrong field.
Yeah.
Like even the intern that we were all like literally where like the really decomposing bodies were, like the fresher ones, and like it was getting stanky. So I put my face in my tea bag because I'm like, I'm not gonna just smell this because
Yeah, why didn't they give you all masks?
usually you're supposed to, but I asked her, I was like, are you supposed to wear a mask? And she's like, we don't do that around here. I was like, well, you're
not around these parts, really.
I'm like, you were lifting up like bones and smelling them, so like I'm not at that level yet, Missy. And the intern Carter, he like was like, this like bothers you? And I was like, bruh. I was like, this is the first time I've ever smelled or seen a dead body. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot you guys are like newbies. And I was like, you're so weird that you're like
Yeah.
smelling it. Yeah.
Even like experts are like, oh yeah, I don't know what that guy's doing.
Like unless you're like literally like Missy who's like
He's like-
60 years old, like maybe you might be fine, but like you have to admit that it stank.
Yeah.
Like it ain't a good smell.
Imagine he's not even like an employee. He's just like he's like a helper.
like the actual intern, like the actual like worker comes, they're like, who's that guy? And that guy like runs away.
Like you had that one blonde kid, they're like,
What
a blonde kid hasn't worked here for 20
Yeah,
years.
what blonde kid?
Yeah, I was like gagged. I was like, how dare you say that to me right now?
So rude.
Oh, look, people were in like their hoods, like literally going like gagging. There's like
Yeah.
photos of everybody like just it was so funny. Yeah, but yeah, that was the body farm, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. So, but I did more than the body farm. People think they're like, oh my God, you just dug up bodies for 3 weeks? I was like, no. I did not.
Was that like the highlight though?
I definitely think so, because it was like hands-on, like really hands-on, and like, when am I ever going to do that? Like, I've also never done anything like that before, ever. So like, you know, it was interesting, but.
Yeah.
Well, what do you see yourself doing in like 5 years?
Oh gosh,
What's the
5
goal?
years. Well, after I graduate, I definitely want to, I don't know if I would be able to get like a CSI job right away, just because you need a lot. You need to go to like more programs and training and stuff, but I definitely want to work, you know, just get some experience like being within people, like the law enforcement or like CSI, like that type of like lab work, just to like make more connections and just kind of get like my foot in the door and like have money to like afford to do stuff, you know? And then once I get training,
Do you think you're gonna stay in California for that?
Yeah.
I mean, like moving out immediately after college seems like a little bit impossible with like the amount of money I have in my bank account. Does not seem feasible, but I would like to move out of California. I really do like other states I've been to, and the job market in like other places like the GBI, TBI in Tennessee and Georgia and all them places, there's a lot more jobs and there's a lot more programs and different sectors within the law enforcement that is specifically geared towards investigation and CSI.
Do you have to go places that have like higher crime rates?
No, but like you are secured a job. Like if you go to Memphis, like Memphis is like batshit crazy, and they literally like will hire like they need people. And you're always doing stuff, but like there's crime everywhere. Like, you know, there's always gonna be something to do. You know, but
that's the cool thing. You'll never be like job insecure.
Yeah, there's always gonna be people murdered. Yeah,
right.
I'm not gonna have to switch like to like HR by the age of 30 because there's no more crime.
Yay, crime.
Crime's illegal.
Yeah,
no more crime.
Crime is already illegal.
Yeah, but I was talking to one of the instructors. Her name is Harley, and she's from the GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which we had a couple other people from there too. And I was just mentioning, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to stay like where I'm at, like West Coast, like, you know, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, like, and like I'm from California and I know we're kind of different. Like, how does that work? Because she was telling me her experience. Like, she went to the law enforcement academy, which is usually what you have to do for some people, but instead of like having to be a police officer for, you know, and build your way up, she just went straight into the GBI to their like, I don't know if it's their cold case like program or just directly into their CSI program, because they like hired her directly, so she didn't have to do like traffic stops for 2 years. She just directly went into it and stuff, and she actually ended up doing this program we just did, the law enforcement one. And I was like asking her like, how does that work? Like, you know, like, do you need to go through that training? Like, she's like, it just depends on like where you go, like what their stuff is. Like the GBI has different, you know, sectors within their program, but every state's different. And she's like, California, like I would recommend not doing it just because they have different training. Like it's their own, they have like their own thing. And she's like, well, and if you got a job in California doing whatever, and then you wanted to move higher up and do something in the GBI, you would have to do like an 8-week training program to get. And I'm like, I'd rather train in like the general, and then if I need more training later, instead of being all wonky with California's stuff. And like, I don't.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Kind of just like have the general training that most people use, and then if you really want to do the California stuff,
and like go back and stuff. But I would already have so much like more experience. I might not even need to do anything. You know. But a lot of people that I met, like the instructors, all have worked different places and know people who work in different states. So, you know, reaching out to them to like talk to other people shouldn't really be a problem. And, you know, just researching what they have. You never know like what other programs, and they're starting to, you know, make new, you know, programs within the like main ones in law enforcement. Like they just opened up like a cold case section. So now they just work on cold cases. So like, you know,
I was gonna say, just because the cold cases reminded me, do you know like where you got this inspiration from to like be interested in this stuff? Like, is it because your mom watches a lot of like
that? And I also watched Criminal Minds, which is really funny. I feel like a lot of people are like, I watched Bones and I wanted to be whatever, and like it's true, but like then I continued to want to do it. You know, people are like, I want to do that. I always wanted to do that, and they're like, I'm a communications major. I'm like, okay, you want to work a 9 to 5, but like after that, I was like, I've always wanted to do something not normal. Like no, I didn't want to sit at a desk, which is why like I originally wanted to be like a baker. Like I wanted to be hands on. I wanted to always.
I want to sit at a desk. Oh my god, I love sitting at a desk.
Give me a C, girl.
I love sending my emails.
Give me a lunch and a C, girl. A time lunch, a time bathroom break. Like give me a schedule. Yeah, but I always wanted to like not do that. I just thought I would lose my mind, and like I just feel like I'm, you know, always loud and doing stuff. So like I want to, you know, hands on and do stuff that's kind of like different. But then I kind of grew out of like the baking stuff and was like, you know, this is actually like a really good job.
That.
Oh my god, she used to make cakes all the time. I have to show you a picture, like a cake decorator.
Wow.
Like I would make cakes for my friends. I would make cakes for like everybody.
Like, she's like, I want to do criminal stuff. We're like, damn it. We're like,
I know. Well, do you still want to like do some making on the side?
They have industry.
freelance baker.
Yeah.
You guys were probably just watching a lot of like baking competitions.
Yeah.
All the
my God.
time.
She'd watch Cake Boss like every day.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, just all the time.
I rewatched it like recently,
Was
kind
it
of.
awful?
Oh, it was amazing. I don't even know what you're talking about. It was like the best thing I've ever
Euphoric
seen.
experience for
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, like I remember that cake. Oh my God, I remember when this happened.
It's all just fondant and Rice
And drama.
Krispies.
and fake cake
Fondant
smashing.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How does fondant take fond? I thought
Have
it
you
was
ever had fondant?
Fondant.
Whatever.
I think some people say fondant.
Fondant.
I think it's
Have you ever had
it's
like,
like
a cake?
sugar.
Is it sugar?
It's just sweet. Yeah.
Sugar?
The
It's
texture's
like
kind of weird though.
gummy. It's kind of like gum you can eat with no taste.
Yeah. Like when you eat it, like a lot of times, like when I would get a cake with it, I would kind of just peel it off
Imagine
and just
if-
eat the cake.
Imagine a sweet Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of grainy because like the sugar,
Yeah.
but
Interesting.
yeah. So I went from that to watching Criminal Minds for too long, and I was like, y'all. But we
Well,
did
what
learn.
about when she'd been a horse doctor with all that Heartland you were watching?
Oh my gosh. I think they're still making
She
that. so-
terrorized our family with that Heartland. Like,
Okay, but then I terrorized you guys below deck, and now you're obsessed. So
And
let's
now-
think
And now
about
you
our
want to
my.
become a ship steward.
I low key. I know. I watched one episode of something. And I'm like, I need to be on Love Island. I need to be on Love Island. I need to be a yacht person. I need to be a Criminal Minds person.
tell me why. Like, I played City Skylines for like
Oh my
2
god.
days, and I was looking up master's degrees in city planning.
She was sending me jobs.
Dude,
I was
I
like,
watched
shit,
like I watch a lot of like zoo, like aquarium of the Pacific on TikTok, and I'm like literally so happy. And someone was like, why aren't you like, you should be like a zoologist, like you should be a zookeeper. And I was like, and then I had a 15-minute breakdown of like, oh my god, I ruined my life. I should have been a zoologist. What if I just get like my minor in zoology? Like I could do it. Like I can take all these classes really quickly. Like, and then I was like, Jenna, no,
You're always gonna
calm down, because you don't want to pick a poop. Yeah, I was like, then I was like, poop. Then I was like, done. I stopped crying. I was like, good. Done.
But ribs are okay. Human ribs.
Seeing someone like shot in the face, I'm like, meh, whatever. Tuesday.
Just
It's a
another day in
Tuesday.
the office.
not poop.
Yeah. So we kind of just like more. I just see something I'm like interesting, but this is like the one thing I kind of stuck, and then I was kind of like was good at it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, which is like weird. And I was able to see stuff like blood and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah. So like before that, have you had seen any like anything
Not
real?
in real. No, not. I mean, like, especially living here. Like, what are you supposed to see? But like, no, never seen anything. We've never been to a funeral. Have you ever been to a funeral?
That's
Mom?
crazy.
Have you?
I don't like funerals
No, but that's.
I mean, no one likes funerals.
But I don't go to them.
personally.
because
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really want to remember someone as them being dead. You know?
Yeah, they do look a little.
I'd rather like
yeah.
just have that image of them alive.
Yeah.
But
like,
have you been to
smiling and
one?
stuff.
I think I had when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
But no, I've never like been in contact.
So
with,
someone
like,
dies, you're
a
not gonna
person.
go to their funeral?
no,
What?
unless it's like they're cremated or something.
Or like close.
I don't want to see
casket.
their body, bro.
It is weird because
Oh.
they like literally like they put makeup on you.
Yeah.
They like
how often do they have like open casket now?
a lot of times like if it's like if it's an old person, they don't die traumatically. Like if it's like a car wreck, they usually don't have an open casket because they're not fully,
What if
you know. But if you
What
just
if it was open the
yeah.
other way? It was just your feet.
she's a foot model.
What if it, what if it was like half? Like just half, like
Just your
like
like
instead of this half, it's this.
okay.
Oh, you.
We should still have that cricket sound effect.
All right, I'm just gonna shut the mic.
The click sound.
Come back.
But yeah.
Lord have mercy. Oh.
Oh,
You have a new drink. Oh.
we're digressing, regressing.
We're doing both.
What do you want to do in 5 years?
Oh, but this
what?
is the Jenna episode.
Oh.
Yeah, but let's read. Let's get back to what the real topic is.
Never.
Me.
No, I mean, generally, I think
Genuine.
What do you want to do?
Literally.
What do we want to be on the computer? Like, I want to work on my little computer with my typing.
Apparently,
I make a
I'm
lot.
graphic designer.
And apparently, I've never been on television.
And apparently, I'm never going to finish school because they
Thanks,
keep giving me
guys.
more classes.
Thanks. I think I just want to work for like a cool company,
Okay.
What's like a cool company?
like Pinterest,
They have like a skateboard rink in the back.
like a
They got
big,
snacks.
like a big company. I don't know. Like I'll probably start at smaller companies
Mhm.
and like when we work my way up.
Like client focused?
No.
Or yeah.
No, like I'm more into like branding and stuff. So maybe like helping companies.
Work at Columbia, dude.
Maybe I kind of want to see if I can get an internship before I quit there. But yeah, just kind of like working at like companies because they have a lot of amenities. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like the Day in My Life as a.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
And like they don't do shit all day.
They wear really cute outfits.
You're like, I don't want a corporate job. I'm like, oh, I want a corporate job.
Yeah, I want a corporate job.
I want to just sit there.
But like with a cool company, like Spotify or like Pinterest.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Something cool like that. But yeah, that's kind of it. I want to maybe move out of California eventually. It's kind of expensive here.
It is expensive.
And
$1 billion.
that's kind of generally it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Miss Emily?
Hang out with you, maybe.
Oh, shucks. So cute.
I don't know. I would. Have we used all of the sounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I would move out of state. What states would you go to?
Washington, Oregon, Colorado. I might do like back east, possibly.
That's stinky.
Yeah, I'm not. I like
Canada.
I like the
Canada.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Abroad.
I'm a West
100% would go
Coast girl.
abroad.
That's so much work.
Abroad?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
That's crazy.
I feel like I'm very much like, I don't like change, but I also like, I'm like, kind of gets like, I'm like, I don't want to be stagnant either.
Even
Yeah.
after
And I
we
feel like
went on a
after, like-
trip, because I came, like, Switzerland was awesome and it was so cool, but I was like, man, I love
love
like,
Trader
you
Joe's,
USA.
but like,
USA.
I feel like I just like, I want to do so much because I just want to like be able to say I've done so much.
Well,
you know,
would you like? I feel like you wouldn't. This
I
is what I
wouldn't-
imagine. You wouldn't live there, but you would have like stints. Right?
I feel like I would get a job that might be like 2 years, like a year, 2 years. I wouldn't like, I don't think I would ever settle down like in a different country unless like, you know, I'm really like been there a lot. But yeah, I feel like, you know, gaining experience from like other countries would be really
that'd be
interesting. And like moving around would be kind of fun just because I feel like I was always so scared to like do anything, go anywhere without anybody. And I've like trying to learn to like, you know, go out of my comfort zone. And I feel like, you know, if I'm getting paid and I have a job that I love, like who cares where I'm at, you know? But I do love the Pacific Northwest.
And the cool thing is like, besides like the training, like basically like it's the same process in any country. Like,
yeah. It's not, I mean, like I think their laws are different, but other than like that, like I'm literally doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? But I've also like, I think Mother mentioned like 3 years ago that there's like a special unit in like the national parks have their own like law enforcement, and I always thought that was so cool.
There's a book on that. I'll give it.
I've been thinking about that literally ever since you said that. I think probably that once a week. I'm like, oh, I really want to do that. I think that'd be super cool. Like even like right out of like college, like trying to get that job because if it's just law enforcement,
think
that's
of all
easy.
the dead bodies in there. They do have jobs. I saw one year. I was looking, or maybe we were looking at jobs, and you can just be like a counselor for like I don't know 3 months.
Honestly, the national park jobs are really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that. Well, one of my old coworkers, they got a job in Yosemite, I think, and it was like not one of those jobs, but it was like you're able to be like a ranger, or like a helper, and they pay for your housing. Like,
I just think that'd be super cool. Like
it'd be cool for like a year, right?
Yeah, just like I feel like I'd rather just do a bunch of fun jobs and like, you know, especially like they talked about like 30% of people who work in CSI burn out after 3 years. So it's like, okay, if I do 3 years of just strictly doing like GBI, like the real deal, and then I'm like, I'm kind of tired, but I still kind of want to do it, but somewhere else, it's like, you know, you can go anywhere. Like and stuff like that, and like I can like try to work like, you know, maybe more like lab work. You can like do latent, like you can process fingerprints instead and stuff, and like, you know, that kind of stuff. There's just so much to do, and I feel like I still only know like surface level stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're still like barely gonna do the first step, you know.
Yeah, just kind of learning stuff. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
What time? Okay, I guess the last question is, do you have any new tattoo ideas?
Yes, I do. Thank you for asking that really important question.
Well,
I do. I've been thinking about it a lot, actually, because I've kind of just been like, once I got a bunch of them, I was like, oh, I need more. And then I was like, control yourself. And now I'm like, I got a bob, and now I need some new I need some new ink.
The bob is changing.
Like, I got a little funk ass bob, and now I need some new ink. One tattoo idea, I've been wanting it for a while because I got a stick and poke like the year like the summer before I went to college, because I was like, I need to do something crazy. So I went over to my friend's house. She gave me a stick and poke.
I'm surprised you didn't get like a disease.
Yeah, what'd you get with the stick and poke?
What did I get?
Yeah, what was it?
I got a son for mother, because she kills us. She sings that "You Are My Sunshine" song.
That's cute.
And I have it on my side, like on my ribs and stuff, because I was like, I have to hide it from mother, like they can't know. But I'm gonna be rebellious, but like also like be smart about it, you know.
Yeah.
But my friend did them like for years. Like she was like really good at it, and she did it pretty good. But like, you know, it's a stick and poke. You can't take care of it that much, so it's kind of like, you know, a little faded, a little bleeding, and like kind of bled around. And I kind of want to like get it redone. Like I want to get it tattooed over.
Are you allowed? Can they do that?
Yeah. They can like they can put tattoos over tattoos all the time.
Color up.
It's cool.
Yes, I want to do something like that, like make it more of like sun and add like little things on the sides to kind of make it more like a full tattoo.
I like that.
I think I mentioned to you the photo of Pop Up.
Yeah.
I was on Instagram and I was stalking just like all these tattoo artists, and one of them came up and he like is really good at like taking images and putting them like into tattoos. So I have a photo of me and my grandfather that I want to do, but that's like pretty much in the future. But I do want him to do, I like my favorite flower is a lily, and I have this really cool like drawn photo of a lily, and I really want to get that tattooed as well. And I also found this one girl in Canada, but I don't think I'll go to her just because I'm not going to go to Toronto, Canada anytime soon. But they're just like little, like, you know, like Princess and the Frog, like what's her name? Evangeline.
Oh yeah, those little.
You know, like the stars that kind of have like the really long like legs. She's like, that's all, like she's known for doing that, and I want to put that on like my hands, like on my like wrists and stuff. I want to do that too. Yeah, I had a couple other ones. Like I want to do like postage stamps of like places I've been, as like little like timestamps on like the back of my arm. I kind of want to get grandma's house tattooed. There's a lady in Seattle that like does houses, like really fine. Like
that's her niche.
Yeah, it's her literally her niche.
Wow.
And like I was like, oh my god, it'd be so cute just to get.
Did you get the orange?
No, I don't think. Or I think it's only. Oh, I think they do have orange.
Is it just like an outline? I'm guessing.
Yeah, just like really fine line outline of her house. I think that'd be really cute too. But I really want that's the touch up and the flowers really bad. Yeah, it's kind of like what my first ones are.
You should get the how much would a touch up be? Like,
it would
charge more.
It'd be like a whole new tattoo.
I think it would just be a whole new tattoo. They would just they would design it with what I have. Yeah, but. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe if I come back, I might have one. Depending if I have a job. If I have a job in Pullman, for sure. If not, waiting for Christmas money, and I'll get one when I'm here. You'll have to come. You should come. You guys will go to LA, and you guys can watch me. I'll drive. I'll get you food, and I'll take you to a bookstore.
That could be interesting.
And we'll go. Yeah,
you could bring it on the go podcast.
Oh my god,
on the road.
While she's getting tatted.
You should. That'd be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna.
I need to convert you to tattoos for sure.
The thing is, I'll give in, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've always had a lot of ideas for tattoos. I remember when I was younger, for some reason I really wanted like a wave one.
Everybody's not a wave one.
You know?
Yeah. You were smart though, and you phased out of it before you got it. I feel like a lot of people phase out of it.
And then I wanted a snake one.
That would be cool. I'll have to show you this one guy, Rob, if you're listening, from Love Island, he's a snake wrangler, and he has a snake tattoo, and it looks really good.
See, but I'm just a poser, and I just like.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say cool. The snake would be scary, and you're not scary.
My one coker has like a really scary spider on her arm, and I would literally like be at night and like wake up and be like, oh my god, there's like a funk ass spider on my arm. She has a lot of tattoos though, but.
And then recently I saw like Western tattoos. They look really cool.
Have you seen like Julian Somolita's like color tattoos? I think his tattoos are insanely cool. Nice. I feel like that kind of fits your vibe a little bit, like kind of spunky little color in there would be kind of cool. Yeah. But the color tattoos, like I feel like you have to get them retouched. So
yeah, I think I like just black and white.
But I feel like pretty like a little thicker, like more traditional style would look really good. Yeah. You know, like kind of like bigger, like really cool tattoos.
That's why I'm saying I might
next weekend.
By the next podcast,
or if you come, you guys should come to Washington, and we can get stuff in Seattle. Has a lot. Portland have a lot.
That could be fun.
Of people.
I really hope we do that, because I want to go back to Seattle, and I don't know if Emily's ever been to Seattle.
Nope.
But I think
we can go like other
fun.
places. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I feel like it's a place you gotta go.
Yeah, it's like.
Or we can take her to Bainbridge Island. It would be really pretty too. That's where I went when I was in Seattle last.
I feel like every big city's kind of the same.
Yeah.
but it's just cool. Like
You gotta,
it's just different.
you gotta go to Pike Place. We gotta take her to Pike
Yeah.
Place. Like, we can find stuff that you want to do specifically
Go
too.
on a ferry. Ferries are
Let's
kind of
do it.
cool.
Ferries are cool. Yeah,
All right, let's plan.
because you've been to
Um,
Portland, but you haven't been to
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's pretty cool.
Mhm.
They have
Alright.
a couple museums.
Yeah.
Would you get any tattoos, Miss Emily?
I don't know.
you put a sticker on a Bentley?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know where.
I feel like you would look good. Like,
Yeah, just like really small, like dainty ones would be super cute.
My problem is I do have a few ideas, but I just don't know where.
The-
I
oh,
guess
the
I
yeah,
would
the
want
placement.
to
Yeah.
put it, so
But I feel like it's good.
kinda-
Like, I always like, I have ideas and then I'm like, there's a couple ideas that like I don't want anymore, which is good. Like, I don't like,
Yeah.
oh, I want this, I'm gonna get it. It's like, I want it, wait 6 months,
Yeah.
9 months,
I
find
feel-
a tattoo artist. Like, you know.
I feel like the one that you have, the hummingbird,
Mm-hmm.
is like the style that I feel like would look good on her. You know.
Yeah.
I think the
like-
really
that
like,
one turned out really.
I think
good.
like, I don't know, like Emma Chamberlain's like really small ones.
Yeah.
Like, that would be really cute
Mhm.
because I feel like you can commit to something, but
Mhm.
not where it's like so aggressive.
Yeah.
And they're like really small, really light, like really cute ones.
Yeah.
You know.
And then also you made me want like one right here under
The
Yeah.
writing, I like
Above
the
your-
writing ones are really cool. Yeah.
like where your elbow is, but
Yeah.
on the inside.
Yeah, like here, yeah.
But I
Armpit
don't
of
know.
the elbow.
Elbow ones are really cool. Yeah, I like the arm ones a lot.
Yeah. Well, we should do it. We'll tattoo ideas and we'll plan
Yeah.
Seattle.
During fall would be really fun.
Yeah.
It won't be too rainy and it would be like nice and cool. You guys can come wear your fun little winter outfits for
Let's
once.
Let's do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And I'll have a car so you guys don't have to rent a car. So
Yeah. All right. Well, sounds like a
All right.
plan.
Next
Mhm.
time this podcast,
you'll
we'll
hear
be-
the little tattoo machine on art over here. So how do you feel right now? Get it off, get it off.
But yeah, it was cool to kind of hear about your experience.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you for jumping on the pond.
Of course.
first
Invite me
guest.
anytime. Yeah.
We're gonna try to do like more interviews.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna interview your parents
Oh.
individually because we kind of want to like hear about like what was
Yeah.
What was each perspective of like,
yeah,
you know.
what was it like in the 20s?
Yeah.
In the
when they were
20s or when-
20.
How old do you think they
When
are?
they were 20.
when they were 20.
What was the Great Depression like?
Yeah, and
Were
like
you a fat burger?
growing up and stuff. Just like
Yeah.
have a variety
Yeah.
of episodes, you know.
Yeah.
And then eventually we want to do 4 people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I have, like,
the yappers come along, you know.
So yeah,
Okay.
thank you for
Yay,
coming on.
thank
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's very fun. So official.
Alright. Should we get the
That's-
outro?
Yeah,
Outro
let's
here?
hit it.
Bleh.
Da